Spotter Stand Live, starring Pockets, Hot Rod, Bubble J, Joba, Momo, Scar, Eddie D, Albion, Gear, featuring Outside 5, Rugrat, Randy C, Trivito, Vince Conway, Mike Coulon, Sean Frederick, musical guest BSR Mayhem, and your host, BSR Texan. Ladies and gentlemen, BSR Texan.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Spotter Stand. Hope you all enjoyed that new intro. We're just debuting this week for the first time on the Spotter Stand. I got to get a big shout out to BSR Mayhem, our musical guest, for putting that intro audio together for us. And another big shout out to the Mod Squad with their awesome site over there. It allowed me to make all those great renders of everybody's car that you saw there. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll be using that from now on as our intro video. I might make a few tweaks to it here and there to kind of spice it up a little bit, but I thought it came out pretty good.
Except for the amount of wings cars that were in it, it was great.
Well, those are the cars that everybody's running right now, correct?
They're all wings cars.
No.
Yeah, that came out awesome. That
Almost
looked
all
great.
those cars were painted by Wings.
And I really like the
Pockets, Momos.
Well, that's what Momo's been racing.
yeah, that drawing intro, the way that effect starts it out,
I'll tell you what, that was awesome. I love that.
in with all the colors. That's a great.
Yeah, well, I can always get with everybody through the week, find out which car,
Momos may have been
which car they prefer to have on their intro there, and I'll make sure I get the proper cars put up there. But I thought it came together pretty good. Yeah, that drawing effect, I really like that over the intro. I was thinking about doing that over all the cars as well, but I thought, man, that's maybe a little bit of overkill. So.
Yeah, the intro just reminded me of an SNL kind of intro. The way they would do that is very cool.
Exactly, that's exactly what I thought when it first started going. Mayhem.
Yeah, I think it was perfect. It was perfect. I didn't change a thing. It was really, really good.
So I see you out there, Vito. Appreciate the thumbs up there. I'm glad you like that. Hopefully everybody else will come back and see this video, and they'll like it as well. Like I said, I can always change the car files. I just went with whatever I thought I could recall that everybody was currently running, and I know I got a couple of them wrong. I know that Mayhem's car was a little bit off, and but most of the rest of you guys, Hot Rod, that's the car you run, right?
Yep.
And I know that was Rugrat's car. I know I got her car right.
That was absolutely Rugrat's car.
I ran my Cadillac 2 weeks ago. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's the car she won the hangover with. Yep, that's absolutely her car.
So we had, before we get into the racing, I'm gonna be doing a new video here pretty soon to put on the exit of this as well. Currently, I'm still using the old exit video with all the old stuff in it, but I'll be getting on that now that I've got my video editor reinstalled, and I'll be getting on making some more videos in the upcoming weeks and months, and I'll get us something new here for the spotter stand to take us out as we exit. We'll get us a new video with everybody that's running with us now. See if I can get something pretty spiffy together. But we had another great week of racing last week. Wednesday night we did run in the dirt at Terre Haute. So let's get right into it. Here is your dirt series schedule. We're now 7 weeks into 14 of the dirt series, so halfway through this dirt series schedule. Wednesday night race was a great race here at Terre Haute. Looks like I managed to take the pole, and I believe that would only be because Hot Rod was not allowed to qualify, seeing as how he did win the heat race. Who was our number 2 finisher in the heat race, Hot Rod?
Pockets won the heat.
Oh, Pockets won the heat. You
Yes,
finished number 2.
Yes. That the heat race was actually great. Pockets was leading, and on the last lap coming off before, I got a big run on him and tried to drag race him down the straightaway to that end. The start finish line's way down the other end. I just couldn't get by him.
I'm just looking down this schedule here so far. Out of 7 races, Hot Rod wins the first one, Hot Rod wins the third one, the fourth one, the 6th one, and the 7th one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins out of 7 races. Something's got to be done to this foot doctor here. What's going on here? What's 5 out of 7?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. The new guy, Sean Fredericks, you wait and see. He's going to be the force to come along to start robbing some of these dirt wins away. He ran really, really good.
Yes, Sean did run really good. It was great to see Sean and Mike both out running with us on Wednesday night in the dirt. Sean had a great run. He did really well at Terre Haute. Coming up on Orange County next Wednesday, or this Wednesday, excuse me. I expect he's going to do pretty well there also, Orange County. But looking over this schedule and these wins, I see the only other people able to eke out a win here are Pockets in race number 2 at the Springfield Mile and Gear Jammer race number 5 at Canandaigua. Gear Jammer's also got a couple of poles in here. The first couple of races he got the pole at Orange County. Gear Jammer got the pole at Orange County. I expect he'll have another good race this week coming up on Wednesday night because he ran pretty good there the last time we ran there.
Yep, he finished second last time we ran there.
Got the pole, finished second. Well, we'll see how he does if he's able to repeat, maybe steal a win away from the foot doctor here on Wednesday night. Let's go over and take a look at the race results from Wednesday night's dirt race at Terre Haute.
Yes, Wednesday night was a great race. Hot Rod with a win. Rugrat finished second. Sean Fredrickson leads the most laps, finishes third. Texan finishes fourth. And Mr. Pockets led more laps than I did. Finished fifth.
Rugrat, second place finish in the dirt. Awesome job. How was that race for you Wednesday night?
Good. I went in there all practice, and I seen my chance with 10 to go, and I took it and was trying to run Hot Rod down, and then the caution came out, so it locked us where we were.
Yeah, I know you ran pretty well. You passed me several times during that race. It's great to see you the change in your racing from last season. Last season you were just kind of hang back and let everybody go, run around at the back of the pack. But it's great to see you up there actually racing with the group, racing with the pack, taking positions. And you had a great race Wednesday night.
Yeah, I made Hot Rod watch that last couple laps there on Pockets' stream, and he's like, "You did a nice pass before underneath pockets. You didn't even slide up the track or nothing.
I know I was watching that. I think I was actually running in third place there for a little bit as those laps were winding down. Sean ended up passing me and taking third place, but I was hoping that maybe you two would get together up there, and that would be my chance to, since it was race back, to maybe get a win out of this series. But it just didn't happen. You raced them nice and clean right up to the end. And look at that right below there. Look at that blue line from Hot Rod. Started dead last, finished first in the win. Nice job, Hot Rod. Great race.
And it took forever to get out front, let me tell you.
Well, let's go over take a look at the standings here. 7 races in. And even though it is only 1 point per position, no points for leading a lap, no points for leading the most laps, no extra points for the win. The only extra points in this series are for first or second place in the heat race. Other than that, no extra points. But 7 races in, Hot Rod already with a 13-point lead over myself, 22 points over Gear Jammer in third place, Eddie D in fourth down by 27, and Rugrat in the top 5 down by 37 points. Great job, Rugrat. 7 races left to go in this series. So, you know, I like to say anything can happen, but I think we pretty much know what's going to happen here.
I'm telling you, with the new competition coming along, there's going to be openings. There's going to be chances. It's not locked. It's far from being locked up.
Let's go back over to the schedule and see how many. So Orange County coming up next. We've run that one already. Canandaigua. After that, we've also run that Weed Sport. Have we run Weed Sport? We have not.
We have.
Oh, yes, we have. We've run every one of them.
Every track that we're coming to, we have ran already. We're just doubling up now.
Yes, we have. I'm looking at that now. See if I can get. I can't quite get all the way to the top. So that top track is Devil's Bow. We started with Devil's Bow. We'll finish with Devil's Bow.
That's right.
So Orange County, Hot Rod took the win. Gear Jammer with the pole, though, should have a pretty good race. So
And
this Wednesday.
I won the race. He started on the pole. He finished second. He bobbled one time, and I got under him to win that race. That's what happened there. I don't expect him to bobble this week. So,
And this will be Sean's first race with us at Orange County. I think Sean made Terre Haute, and he raced Weed Sport, I believe, as well.
I think that's the one he ran, but I ain't sure. I'll go check.
It was Weed Sport or Canandaigua, one of those two he was able to make. I think he's been in 2 of these dirt races so far. But Thursday night, let's go back over to the Cup Series. Thursday night, we are now into segment 2, and we are 8 races out of 13, well over halfway. That leaves only 5 races left to go in this Cup Series until we start the championship run, the chase. We just ran at New Hampshire this past Thursday, and it was Mike Coulong who dominated that race at New Hampshire in the Cup Series. Mike Coulong, with a great setup, a great car, took the pole and took the win at New Hampshire. That's another bonus point. I believe that's a total of 4 wins for Mike Coulong already since he started racing with us. Which is a great job. That's quite a few wins considering he hadn't been here the whole season. He came in at the last part of segment 1. So awesome job, Mike Coulong. Great race and a great victory at New Hampshire. Let's go over and take a look at our actual race results here from Thursday night's Cup race at New Hampshire.
Yes, Mike with a great win. Texan got second, Pockets third, Momo fourth, and Sean Fredrickson rounds out the top 5.
And 83 laps led. I believe that was a 120 lap race. So 83 laps led for Mike Coulong. Awesome job. I managed to lead 25 laps in there somewhere. I'm not sure how I did that. As dominant a car as Mike had. He was, once he got out to the front, it was hard enough just to keep him in sight, much less pass him. And if you look down there, we only had 4 cautions in that entire race. Those cautions all came at the beginning part of the race. I believe we ran the last 90 or more laps under green flag, and the race did end under green flag. We had 2 green flag pit stops in that race. That was a great job by everybody to run such a long green flag run at a track like New Hampshire, have green flag pit stops. And as you can see, looks like myself and Mike, only 2 on the lead lap. He finished 2.5 seconds ahead of me. Awesome job, Mike. Again, congratulations on the victory at New Hampshire. So let's go over to the points here. Take a look at our standings in the second segment of this Cup Series. I do hold the lead, 31 points over BSR Pockets, who did move up a spot to take over second place from Mayhem at this last race. Mayhem in third place, down by 32. Hot Rod in fourth, down by 37. And Eddie D rounding out the top 5, down by 49. And Mike Coulong, with all the victories he has had, Mike has missed at least 1 race. Did he miss 2 races? He missed 2.
His vacation and then the hospital week after the vacation.
So that's what, 30 some odd. Let's go back over here to the schedule and let's just take a look at our results.
Around roughly 60 points.
Well, he got 46 points for that win. Second place 42. Let's just take, say, a top 5 finish. Sean Fredericks, 39 points, led a lap. I think we could pretty much put Mike in a top 5 spot and say he would have led a lap. So 39 points. We go back over to the standings. That's a total of 78 points. So that would only put him about 3 points back from the lead. And that's with the 5th place finish leading a lap. And I would bet you he probably would have had better than 5th at a couple of those tracks. So barring Mike missing those 2 races, he could very well be in the lead of this series right now.
Absolutely. That's what I said. At bare minimum, 60 points would put him 20 points behind you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah,
and at 60, I mean, that's only 30 points per race. So that would have been back towards the back of the pack. Yeah.
And that would have been a start and park, basically.
Right. And like I said, he probably would have done better than that. He would be second place for sure, and likely only down by a few points, possibly in the lead. If he had won even just one of those races, he'd be in the lead right now. And if he'd had, second, third place in either of them or both of them, he would also likely be in the lead right now in this second segment.
Or he could have blown up like I did on.
And he missed Michigan. That was the one one of the ones he missed. So that was a bonus point race. So he would have probably, I bet he probably would have finished. He'd have finished pretty good in that race for sure.
He probably would have
pretty
finished.
Much easy to say top 5 would have had at least 1 lap. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. And Kansas, pretty sure he would have got a top 5 there too. So.
Yeah, and he did get a bonus point for the win this last week for his chase.
Oh, he did race Kansas. Hold on, which one didn't he race?
The Michigan race.
And Infineon. He did not run Infineon. Michigan and Infineon.
Yeah, so Michigan, he could have picked up at least 1 other bonus point towards his chase. If he'd have got second place, that'd have been 2 bonus points. If he'd have won that race, that'd have been 3 bonus points towards.
And the worst he could have did in Infineon would have been 36 points. That's the worst because Mayhem was the last car that started.
Mayhem got 37.
That's correct. So, yeah.
Mike been doing a great job since he started racing with us, him and Sean both. Mike still still has a top 5 probably within his grasp. He's currently 32 points behind Eddie D. 5 races to go. I don't know. That's a lot of points to make up in 5 races. Eddie D has been running pretty strong here lately. He's been either a top 5 or very close to a top 5 car in just about every race. So it's possible Mike could work his way up into that top 5 before the end of the segment, pick up another bonus point for a top 5 finish in the segment.
He throws a couple wins in there, he'd be right in that ballpark, though.
So back to the schedule over here. We do have coming up this Thursday our second Pocono race. You know, NASCAR bumped these Pocono races up in the same weekend. They ran Pocono back to back, and instead of doing that, what would normally have been an off week, we have put that second Pocono race in there, and I believe
Mike finished second in that race. Momo won.
Momo won. Yeah, let's go to the results of this last Pocono race here. So Momo did win that race. Mike Coulong second place, Pockets third, Gear fourth, Mayhem in the top 5. I finished all the way back in 7th place, 3 laps down. Somehow led the most laps and finished 3 laps down. Had some trouble toward the end of that race. So personally, I am looking forward to going back to Pocono because we had some great racing. Myself, Momo, Mike Coulong, Mayhem as well. We're all racing pretty hard up there toward the front for quite a bit of that race. So I'm looking forward to getting back to Pocono this coming up Thursday and having another shot at that.
You led the most laps. You had a really good car. I don't remember what happened, but
You might have had a penalty or got wrecked or something.
Or wrecked myself, shot myself in the foot. That's my
That's your MO.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go over to Friday night. Take a look at the Friday night Xfinity Series segment 2. We are also 8 races into this series, leaving only 4 races left to go before we head into the chase for the Xfinity Series. It was a slightly different story on Friday night. Mike Coulong again had an awesome setup. When I joined the practice session of this, Mike was 0.3 of a second, or almost half a second faster than the next fastest car. Mike did, however, share his setup with the rest of us, and I think most of us ran that set except Momo. Momo ran his own set and was still running pretty strong. He was able to hang right there with Mike and myself, and Mike had some trouble toward the end of that race. I believe he was. I believe he was trying to pass Hot Rod on the bottom, and
nope, that was
yes, he was. I was racing hard
got
to
into
get
me,
my
and
gear,
then he tried with gear.
He
That
went
was later on in the
low.
race.
And my car normally slides up in the middle of the corner about the same time as his does. And for some reason, it didn't push the corner that time. And he stayed low, and it got out from underneath him.
Yeah, he had a great car. Even with sharing the setup, I think he was still faster than the rest of us. I ran his setup just like it was. All I did was take 20 pounds of wedge out of it and loosened it just a little bit. In fact, there was a part of that race where I took another 10 pounds of wedge out of it, and it just got too loose. I had to, next pit stop, put that wedge back in it, and it was running good again. I think I was gaining on Mike in those pit stops. Maybe his entry to the pit was just a little bit slower than mine, but I think the first time we went in the pits, he was a few seconds ahead of me, and I was able to come out, pretty much right behind him or right there with him. And on the very last green flag pit stop that we had, I made a mistake and tried to pit off of turn 2. I forgot which corner I was in, which end of the track I was on. Coming off of turn 2, I'm turning down trying to go in the pits, and so, there's no pits there. So I was already 2 seconds behind Mike at that point and lost another 2.5 seconds. I was about 4.5 seconds behind him going into that pit stop. And somehow I came out almost 2 seconds ahead of him. He went about 2 extra laps, I think, more than I did before he pitted, which I gained a little time on the track with fresh tires.
I think he was just pitting really cautious to make sure he didn't spin and get a black flag.
Right. But I thought for sure, because he was starting to run me down with the less than 2 seconds. He was running me down right off the bat, and we still had 30 laps to go in the race. And then he had the little bit of incident there where he got loose and he fell way back. After that, he was able to save it, but he fell back quite a ways, and just wasn't able. There wasn't enough time left for him to make up all that ground. Although I did have some trouble with Sergeant Phil here. BSR Mayhem didn't want to go a lap down, and I can't blame him. I know if it had been closer and Mike was running me down, you would have probably gave me room and just let me on by. But Mayhem saw I had quite a big lead, and he wanted to make me pass him. He wasn't giving up the inside of the track, and so we were racing a little side by side. I got up next to him, couldn't quite make the pass until the last couple of laps. I think I was finally able to get through and get by you there. Mike did make up quite a bit on me during that while I was racing with you. But that was a great race. Same thing. Let's go over and take a look at our race results here Friday night.
Yeah, I'd beg to differ about your assessment of our race cars, because there was one point where I was finally got some clean air and got in front of Mike, and he could not catch me. And then we finally had that caution, and we were side by side, and then I was on the outside and was passing him, and unfortunately he got a little loose and scooted up the track a little bit, and that's when we got into he got into me. But I don't know, I had something for him, but after I got that damage, there was nothing I could do. But yeah, I want that one back. I definitely do. I think that's why I was racing so hard at the end. I was like, I deserve to be on this lead lap. I really don't want to go down a lap.
Well, I don't blame you. Hey, I mean, especially when it's just getting inside the last 10 laps, it's race back and there's no more lucky dogs. So if the caution does happen to come out, if I'm in front of you, you don't get a lucky dog. You're a lap down. That's where it's at. Once we get towards those last 10 laps, if you can stay ahead of me, caution comes out, you're back on the lead lap. You got a chance to race for it again.
Exactly, and I am glad you understood. If he was right on you, I would not have interfered with the race to the lead, but I saw where he was and what I needed to do. I was hoping for a caution, so glad everything worked out.
Yeah, I just felt really bad him getting loose under me. I kind of wrecked his race. Would have been interesting to see what happened had he not spun there.
Yeah, as you can see, he did lead the most laps. I did get the win. Mike Coulong second, led the most laps, 52 laps led. Momo finished in third, led 12 laps. Mayhem, fourth place, led 21 laps. Hot Rod rounds out the top 5, also led a lap. Everybody who was in that race managed to lead at least one lap. We did have a few more cautions Friday night than we did Thursday. We had 6 cautions total. But again, those were mostly towards the beginning part of the race, and the later half of the race was mostly green flag racing. We did have
How many laps did you lead?
I led 30.
Okay.
We had at least one green flag stop in that race.
I believe that pretty much all of that 30 laps that I led was after the final pit stop. I managed to lead one lap in there, one or two somewhere early in the race, but I pitted with around 30 laps to go. And like I said, Mike stayed out a couple of laps longer before he went in and pitted. And when he came out, I was just less than 2 seconds ahead of him when he first came out of the pits. And I led the rest of that race to the end. So I led about 27, 28 laps of it, were the very last bit of the race right there. And as you can see, Mike did manage to catch up. I think after his incident, it was less than 2 seconds, but then he got loose. And I think he fell back to around, I want to say, somewhere between 10 and 13 seconds back off the lead. And he ran down quite a bit of that before I started running with Mayhem and racing side by side with him. But you can see how much more he made up before the end of that race. It did finish under green flag, and only 3 seconds back was Mike Coulong. So, that was his race to win right there. But every once in a while, things happen. It is racing. He did a great job recovering and bringing that back, passing Momo for third place or for second place, and put Momo back to a third place finish. So let's go take a look at our standings here. Go ahead, Hot Rod.
Like I said, and I was digging to get the gear, and he just caught me in a bad spot. Normally, I move up and let them guys go. You know how I race. And I did move high. I just didn't go up high as I probably could have went up a little more. Apologize again to Mike, because that was definitely his race to lose.
So I do hold the lead in this series as well. 25 points over Hot Rod in second place on Friday night. Eddie D in third place, down by 36. Pockets was a no-show on Friday night. Drops back 2 spots to fourth place, down by 52 points. Gear Jammer rounds out the top 5, down by 60 points. So Pockets with the no-show, he was in second place. I believe Pockets was in second place ahead of Hot Rod.
Yeah.
And he didn't race Friday night at New Hampshire. I guess he had enough of New Hampshire on Thursday night, so didn't show up to race Friday night and moved back 2 spots to fourth place, back by 52 points.
Yes. I believe, as you're looking at them points, the last guy that has been to every race on Friday night is Eddie D.
Yes. So Pocket's still in position where he should still, if he makes the rest of these races, should still be able to finish in the top 5 and get himself another bonus point for the segment before we head into the chase. So let's go back over to the schedule here and see what races we have left coming up this week. Well, no, this week is actually off on Friday night, so there will be. I think Mayhem was talking about a fun run. Is that what we're planning this Friday night? You want to go ahead and
Yes,
get the
sir.
shout out for
I'd
that?
like to run a fun run at Michigan for some jerky in the. We'll stick with the Friday night cars and have some fun. Hope everyone can make it.
Beef jerky Friday night, Michigan. Everybody's one of their favorite tracks anyway. Michigan's got to be one of the favorite tracks for just about everybody here. Michigan's
especially in CTS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just provides such good racing, multiple lanes, and it's kind of like an unrestricted Daytona, like old school Daytona, and it's a lot of fun. Taking 2 tires, 4 tires, just good time.
I see Palmian out there. He's winning some jerky on Friday night. Palmian ran pretty good at Michigan, if I recall, both in the truck and the cups, but more especially in the truck. Like you said, the CTS physics provide some great racing at Michigan. There's a lot of draft involved. You can race multiple lanes. You can hold your own on the outside. You can get a run down on the bottom, but if there's a line of cars on the top and you go down there by yourself, unless you're able to clear that person in the turn, you're probably not going to complete that pass on the straightaway because you do need some drafting help at a big track like Michigan and CTS physics.
Right. The beauty, though, you guys with different spoiler settings and, trying to trim out the car to see if they can go faster, that actually, some of those guys can run by themselves. That's what makes it so much fun. A lot of, some guys run a lot of tape and a lower gear, or they push the envelope and have a higher gear and a lot of tape, and you see what happens.
Yeah, that's the great thing about having open setups and being able to tweak and adjust on your setup. Not everybody's running the same thing. Most people run something a little bit different, and even if some of us are running setup that somebody else has given us, usually we tweak on it a little bit to suit our own driving style. So that's one of the great things about open setups, being able to lower your gear, up your tape, lower your spoiler, do whatever you can to make it run faster. And that spoiler being down, that can make a difference when you're in the pack. If you're out front, it makes it harder for somebody to draft up on you. Also, if you're trying to complete that pass on the bottom, you might have a better shot at doing it. But for me, it makes a big difference when you're running by yourself. Like, say we have pit stops, green flag pit stops, and you come out a couple of seconds ahead of or behind somebody else, and you're both running by yourself. Well, if you're ahead of them, they may not be able to draft up or catch up to you because 2 seconds they're not in your draft. They can't suck up to you in that draft. They have to literally be able to run you down, and that spoiler down is going to help you, or vice versa. If you're behind them, you got a better shot at running them down if you can run just a mile an hour faster by yourself with that spoiler down. So yeah, it makes a big difference, and open setups. That's the way to go, and that's the way to race. And I'm glad that's what we do here.
Absolutely. Even when someone sends me a setup, I will tweak something just to try to be different so you have what you think may be an advantage. I mean, I did also borrow Mike's setup from New Hampshire, and I promise if I gave it back to him, he wouldn't recognize it. But it definitely comes from that family. Like his shocks and springs and weight really was very different from what I was running, and it worked better for me. So I didn't change it so whole, from the ground up where it doesn't run well anymore. Just those slight tweaks that make each, everybody has a different driving style, like you said, and it, yeah, you want something slightly different so you can try to find advantage. Having that spoiler down, you will be faster in the straights, but depending on your setup, you might be looser in the turns where if someone's on your back bumper, you might be out of shape, or you can't really hang in the turns as well as someone who's got more downforce. So you're kind of trading one for the other, and that's the beauty of the open setups.
Yeah, that's right. And I do the same thing with somebody else's set. I'll always try to tweak at least something to have something just a hair different. Like you said, maybe you'll have that little bit of advantage. I tried several tweaks on that setup before we got to race time, and none of them really seemed to be working for me. So I just settled on the original setup, which is, I think it came with -40 wedge, and I moved the wedge to -60. Those were the only changes I made to that set the entire race. But like I said, it was at least something that was a little bit different than what he was running. So, maybe give me a little bit of an edge.
Absolutely.
So what we've got coming up, with, like I said, we'll have the fun run this Friday night at Michigan. Jerky race will be going out. I'm not. Are you going to do that to the winner, or are you going to do a random drawing?
Yes.
Yes. So we'll find out how that's going to go Friday night. Just make sure you show up to have your chance to get some of that fusion jerky when we race Friday night. The races coming up for the rest of this series. Iowa will be the next points race in the Xfinity Series. Then we'll move on to some road courses. Road America and Watkins Glen running back to back. And we will finish up the Xfinity Series with Dover before we head off into the chase. So 4 races left to go, and then we'll be heading into the chase in this series. 5 races left to go in the Cup Series. So just barely over a month before we start the chase in the other 2 series. We are a few races into the chase for the Truck Series already. But
The Cup Chase don't start till September. The Xfinity starts the last week of August.
So Saturday night, we were off this last week. I don't think we even ran a race. I wasn't there last night. I know Hot Rod wasn't there. I don't know if anybody even showed up to race last night or not. But
2 or 3 guys showed up. That's about it.
Did they? We will be picking teams this week. I believe this coming up Saturday night is the team picking week for season 42 of the Saturday Night Team Series. So if you can, show up Saturday night and get yourself on a team for the next series of Saturday Night Super Speedway Racing. If you would like to be on a team and you can't make it on Saturday night, just let somebody know, and we will make sure that you get placed on a team for the Saturday Night Team Series. You don't have to show up to every single race. If you can make at least, half of them, a little over half of the races. It's going to be 10 races, so I mean, if you can make 5 or 6, be there to help out a team, and you want to be on a team, then show up Saturday night. We'll get you put on a team, or like I said, if you can't make it, just let Pockets or anyone else know that you want to be on a team, you want to race on Saturday night. We'll make sure that you get placed on one of these teams. Hopefully we will have at least 12 drivers that want to be on teams, and we'll be able to have the same 4 cars per team, 3 teams of 4 cars for the next series. That's season 42, Saturday night.
I'll get Rugrat to throw a post up that we're picking teams Saturday. Anybody that can't make it can post on that post in Facebook that they're not going to make it. They want to be on a team.
Yeah, speaking about Saturday, I might not be there. They're throwing me a birthday party. My dad's going to try to throw both of us in the server, even if we're not there. But my mom's probably going to get me drunk.
Well, happy birthday early. So how old are you going to be?
15.
Come on now. What? I'm going to take a shot in the dark. I think I'm in the right area because I somewhat remember 24.
So I was in
Yep.
24. That's what I thought. I thought I remembered you were 23. 24 years old. My son will be 23 years old this year. Next month, as a matter of fact. So happy birthday. And don't drink too much because I promise you'll regret it Sunday morning if you do.
It's okay. I don't got work.
So that's about all. Well, no, that's not all we've got. We've still got to do bonus points, don't we?
Yep.
I'm heading out, guys. I got to get sleep for work.
Later.
Thank you,
See ya.
Rugrat. We'll see you Wednesday.
Cool. Yep.
User
Tomorrow-
disconnected from your channel.
So let's go to the bonus points. Truck bonus points, obviously they are done. We all know what the standings are. They are up for anybody to view for the Truck Series Chase. So we're not keeping any more bonus points in the Truck Series. These are your Xfinity Series bonus points. So Friday night, I did pick up another win. And you see over there in the race wins box, I have moved up to 5 to join BSR Mayhem, who also has 5 over there. I believe I've got a couple of wins in some of these other boxes. Spring, Texas, and the Michigan race gives me a total of 7 races, won so far this season. Still, though, these points are pretty close in the totals box. If you look over there, my lead is now 6 points over BSR Pockets. It was only 5. I moved from 26 to 27 points. Pockets 21 points, only 6 points off the lead right now heading into the chase. SS Joba still sitting in 3rd in the bonus points with a total of 18, putting him 9 points back as we head into the chase. Mayhem right behind him with 17 points. Right now, 10 points off the lead heading into the Friday night Xfinity Series chase. And quite a few other drivers that are in there in the 15, 14, and 13 bonus point marks. So I see Eddie D and Gear Jammer both sitting in there with 15 points right now. Points still pretty close. Only 4 races left to go. 4 chances for a win, 4 more bonus points to be handed out for wins. Then we're going to have our segment box. Segment 2, the top 5 will get their bonus points. 2 for the leader, 1 for the next 5, and then the full season will be added together to give us a few more bonus points there. You know, that full season box, Hot Rod, we'd have to talk to Pockets about it, but in my opinion, I would say that would be one that could probably just go off of the bonus point thing, because that, you know, your segment 1, segment 2, usually you're going to have mostly the same drivers in those boxes. which once you add the full season together, it's going to be pretty much those same drivers again, just getting extra bonus points for that full season. And I think it would tighten things up going into the chase a little bit more if we took that full season off of the Xfinity and the Cup Series. It doesn't exist in the trucks because there's not enough races. There's only the segment.
That overall points is there to reward the people to come every single week because they're going to be the top 5 guys in that list.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what we had put it in there for originally because if you can't make every race, you're not going to be in the top 5 at the end of any of these segments. And that's pretty much what that full season box is for, is to reward the drivers who do show up every single week. Occasionally, you're going to have 1 or 2 drivers that are going to be around, maybe 4th or 5th place that might have missed 1 race, maybe 2. And sometimes in that full season box, that 4th or 5th place spot could change. You could have somebody thrown in there that wasn't necessarily in one of the segment top 5s, but might have been in the other one.
But you're right. Usually the way they've been working out is that if you in the top 5 in the first segment and the second segment, you're going to be in that overall. There's just no other way around it.
Right. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just juggling this, and again, we'd have to talk it over with Pockets and Momo and the other admins, but maybe the full season, maybe we take that down to 1 point for the top finisher as well, instead of 2.
Yep. That's a good discussion thing. I kind of agree with that.
And I don't feel bad bringing that up and saying that because it just happens to be me that is in the lead right now. As you can see in segment 1, I got that top spot, got 2 bonus points. Right now I've got a pretty good lead over second place. Unless I don't show up to a race on Friday night, I'm probably going to get that top spot in segment 2 as well.
Yeah, don't whammy yourself because you've been known to have internet issues here and there.
It has happened. I don't want to whammy myself, but I almost kind of feel bad taking those 2 points again for the full season, especially seeing how I've got a pretty decent lead in bonus points right now. That's why I'm kind of thinking, maybe not even necessarily take it away, but maybe at least drop it down the full season to where the leader only gets 1 bonus point along with the rest of the top 5.
Yeah, make it like the shootout. I kind of agree with that. Yeah, we'll have to talk to Pockets about that. I think that should probably be done.
And, we could do that Xfinity and Cup Series alike. Just make them both the same. Speaking of Cup, let's go over and take a look at the Cup bonus points right here. Mike Coulomb with the victory on Thursday night in the Cup Series. You can see that moves him up to 4 wins. That's as many wins as I've got in that race win box. I do have a win at Michigan as well, which really brings me up to a total of 5. Mayhem, on the other hand, with 5 wins in that race win box. He's also got the Spring Texas win over there as well. So he's actually got a total of 6 wins so far in this Cup Series chase. So Mayhem topping the board in victories right now. I'm 1 behind him with a total of 5. And then Mike Coulomb missing the first 10 races or so, 8, maybe 9, missing the first 9 or 10 races of the season. 4 wins already since he's jumped in here with us. And, man, we're going to have to watch out for Mike because we've got, 5 races left to go in this Cup Series. I know he ran pretty good at Pocono, and he's probably going to run pretty well at a few of these other tracks before the Cup chase as well. He might just be up there and beat both of us for wins in this Cup Series without even being the full season.
Well, there's no more flat tracks, so that's where he seems to have a pretty good advantage, especially in the Cup cars. He is great at Martinsville, running well at New Hampshire. I need these tracks that are coming up for sure to have a chance.
And if you look over here in the overall box, Mike is already up to 8 total bonus points. Four of them for his wins, and he did get 2 bonus points in the All-Star race as well. So total of 6 bonus points. The other 2 coming from his attendance. So actually, he missed the first 11 races of the season. He was only able to make 2 at the end of segment 1. Those would have been the bonus points that he got for those 2 races. So that's pretty damn good. That means he's been in a total. We're 8 races in now. He's been in a total of 10 races and won 4 of them. That's 40%. 40% of the races he's been in, he's won. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, he's definitely competition every week, everywhere we go.
And what I'm still looking at right here is I'm only 3 points ahead of last season's champion going into the Cup Series chase. Maybe I should take back that 2 points for the, this full season. Maybe we should leave that in there. Maybe we should leave that in there because I'm going to need it in this series. I tell you what, Mayhem ran really strong in the chase last season, and Momo as well. Momo is sitting back a little ways right now at 17 points. He's currently 11 points out of the lead heading into the chase, but Mayhem only 3 points off the lead with 25 total. SS Joba doing great in this Cup Series as well. Currently only 7 points off the lead going into the Cup chase. Pockets right behind him with a total of 20. Only 8 points off the lead going into the Cup chase. And Hot Rod, 17 points. You're not doing too bad at yourself there in this Cup Series. You've accumulated quite a few bonus points here. 2 victories I see for you over there, plus the AK Daytona race victory. And I see you got 2nd place in segment number 1, gave you another bonus point. Where are you at in these boxes? Looks like that's it, and plus your attendance bonus points. So you've been doing pretty well. I see Palmian chiming in out there. He is right on Hot Rod's heels, and he is. Palmian was 16 bonus points in the chase. So the rookie is right behind a veteran BSR Momo with 17 points, and I'd say you've been here long enough to be considered a veteran. Yeah, you're definitely a veteran, Hot Rod, of the dirt. No doubt about that. You've got us all topped in that, but you've been running pretty well. It took you a good season or 2 to get used to the asphalt, but you stuck with it, and you're doing pretty well on this asphalt now. So Palmian doing a great job, though, being this his first full season racing with us. He's already accumulated 16 bonus points towards his chase. Yeah, one driver I would like to see back, you see Bubba J sitting down there, number 343, 15 bonus points. Bubba J's been out for quite some time now. We haven't seen Bubba J into a race. He's been busy dealing with some personal stuff. Not only him, but Scar, BSR Scar. Scar's been out on that new property of his, and he's been absent for most of this season. And I miss racing with Scar. I miss having him on TeamSpeak, and hopefully one of these days here before the end of this season, he'll come back in and start racing with us regularly.
I do. I miss Scar, Bubba J. It's nicer to have a bigger field when you got competent guys who can race. So, yeah, I hope everyone comes back soon.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for us today. We've gone through the last week's racing. We know what we got coming up this week. We've covered all the bonus points. And once again, if any of you guys out there watching weren't here for the intro, you might want to go back and check that brand new intro we just popped up there today. Like I said, we'll be tweaking on that a little bit before next week's spotter stand. We'll get it tweaked up, get everybody's cars to whatever they prefer to have in there, and maybe make a couple other tweaks to it as well. And again, thank you very much, Mayhem, for taking the time and redoing that audio for us, man. That I love that. I love that Saturday Night Live spiff, and yeah, I think it turned out pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, anytime, man. Yeah, it looks great with the cars, and I said that intro with the cartoon drawing in the. I mean, it just looks like SNL, and then it, you're showing the cast members. I think that really, really came out. It came out great.
Yeah, I thought about putting. I have some actual pictures of some of the guys as well. I thought about slipping some of that in there, or maybe some of the trophies that were handed out last season for some of the wins. I might tweak on it a little bit and throw some of that in there as well.
Do you have room on like one slide for 4 consecutive championships? I don't know.
4 consecutive.
Yeah, didn't I think I won Cup and Truck, and then the summer in the AK series, the winter, I won Cup and Truck.
Well, I could just, I got that one picture with all of your trophies in one right there. Yeah, I could just slip that in there, and that would pretty much say it all.
That sounds good.
Then, of course, I'd have to slip my picture of my the top of my desk in there as well.
How many championships do you have total here in BSR?
All series total.
Yes.
Let me count here. Now we're counting the AK series as well, right?
Absolutely.
9.
Now, right there, my friends, that's a champion. That's Bomb Squad Racing Championship material. So you watch out, because I'm coming for you this chase.
So I've got what do I have? Two truck, 2 Xfinity, 3 Cup, 1 AK Friday night championship. Actually, I think it is 1 AK Friday night, and then the other one would be the WLS Graphics series, where I got the awesome diecast car that Larry BSR Hot Rod spent so much time on, and that would be the 9.
Oh, then I have to count 5 because I did win the 5150.
That's right. That's right. So you're not far off.
I want some more.
As far as actual full seasons, that were a full season of racing, it would be 7. But then when you count the AK series, which is a short off season series, and then the WLS Graphics series, which was also a shorter series, it would be 9. But
wow, no, that's awesome. That's really, really cool, and a goal I look to strive to beat. I want to tie you and beat you for sure. And hopefully next week I will have the trophy for the upcoming 5150, which starts at the beginning of the chase at Darlington.
How many races in that 5150? 5? Did we lose him?
Oh, there we go.
How many races total in the 5150 challenge this season?
I believe it's 5.
5. And it's just straight up 5 races. It's not going to be a best of or your best finish in
Right, no, because there's no double races.
Gotcha. Is it the first 5 races of the chase, or is it going to be scattered out?
No, it starts with Darlington.
And it'll be
in order, consecutive.
So it starts with the first race of the chase, and it'll end with the 5th race of the chase.
I believe I'm going to say it's either 5 or 6. Whatever one is the restrictor plate. If Daytona, whatever it's Talladega or Daytona, if that's the 5th or the 6th race, that's where it ends.
Gotcha. And it's gonna be the Cup.
Yes, the Cup Series.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just like last year. But this year will be the black and white, 1979 EVH guitar, and cool trophy. Hopefully, working on and get that for you next week.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That one last year that you've got on your desk or mantle or wherever it is, that that 5150 red and white, and that's an awesome looking awesome looking trophy. And I'm sure this one, I really wanted to get that one, but I have to do everything I can to get this one.
Yeah, I'm looking. That's going to be a great fight for that. I promise those first 5 races. It's not just that's half the chase, but you're also looking to just get your best average finish. So maybe not going for the win, and going for second place and trying 5 second places. Unless the guy in front of you gets 5 first places, you're gonna walk away with that thing.
Yeah, and being that it's in the chase, that's one of those. You got to race with chase mentality. You're thinking about that 5150 in the back of your mind, but you got to have that chase mentality of, I need the best finish I can get. I might not necessarily want to take the extra risk that I might take at some other point in the season because this is the chase. So, I want to get the best finish I can get. And if that means that I got to finish further back than I might like to, but it's safe, that's what I'm going to do. So,
Absolutely. Oh, for sure. You got to decide what's more important at the moment and what you think you can get away with, like not putting 70 tape on at New Hampshire.
did I do that?
No, I did that. That's why I blew up on Thursday night.
Well, we appreciate everybody who tuned in out there live and watched us, and I appreciate you guys, Hot Rod and Mayhem, being in here to help out with the show. And we will see you guys on the track is it Orange County? No. Where are we racing Wednesday night? I already forgot. And I was watching this
Holy smokes. Already forgot. We are racing Orange County.
So I didn't forget. We'll see you guys on the track Wednesday night at Orange County. Hope you guys have a good one.
See ya.